think about forests, do you just think about trees? Forests are covered with trees and a whole lot more. A forest is a community with many different living things. Travel across Wisconsin and you'll see a variety of forests. Why are there different types of forests throughout Wisconsin? Their locations depend on three things: climate, soils, and topography. Climate refers to the weather conditions in a certain location. These conditions include wind, temperature, precipitation, and cloud cover. In Wisconsin, the northern climate zone has cooler temperatures and snowier winters. The southern zone gets less snow and the summers are longer and moister. The tension zone separates the two, and its climate is a mix. The topography and soils of Wisconsin have been largely shaped by glaciers. Thousands of years ago, glaciers covered much of the eastern and northern parts of the state. As they moved across the land, the glaciers shaped the landscape, creating smooth plains and rolling hills. Deposits of clay, sand, and gravel were left behind, changing the soil in these areas. Glaciers never got to the southwestern part of the state, so the topography of the southwest has rugged, steep hillsides and valleys. All of these variations in climate, soils, and topography led to different forest communities. Patterns of forest location have also changed over time because of human influences like settlement, agriculture, and logging. Let's take a tour of Wisconsin and visit some forest communities. Come on!
Welcome to the North Woods. Red and white pines like these grow well here on the dry, sandy soils. If you visit long enough, you might see white-tailed deer, timber wolves, black bears, and red squirrels. Of course, all pine forests don't look alike. Some forests contain towering white pines, while others, like jack pine barrens, are mostly grasses with a few scattered trees. Some pine forests grow in rows like this red pine plantation. Someone planted this forest. Many pine forests are economically important to the paper and lumber industries.
This aspen forest feels airy and sunny because aspen trees love the sun. To keep an aspen forest, you'll need to harvest all the trees so the sun warms the soil and new trees can grow. Did you know that young aspen trees can grow 3 to 4 feet per year? Young aspens provide food and shelter for animals like white-tailed deer, ruffed grouse, and beaver. These forests grow on a wide range of soil conditions and grow on sites following disturbances like fire. Look around an aspen forest and you'll find paper birch, hazelnut, and heart-shaped large-leafed aster. Aspen and birch trees are susceptible to many diseases and insects. They tend to be short-lived but are very important trees for Wisconsin's pulp and paper industries.
Here in the spruce fir forest, it's always green. Take a deep breath and smell the spruce, fir, cedar, and tamarack trees. Watch your step though. These forests are usually wet and swampy. If you see a tree without its needles in winter, it's probably not dead. It's a tamarack tree. They shed all of their needles every fall. Many birds and animals live in the spruce fir forest. Look for plants like bunchberry, starflower, wild sarsaparilla, and club mosses. Economically, spruce fir forests provide pulpwood and lumber.
The maple basswood forest is Wisconsin's most common forest community. Maples have the ability to grow in a fair amount of shade. Because of this, maples can enter the forest understory and eventually become the most common species. Maples grow on moist, nutrient-rich sites. In the spring, trilliums can be found here blanketing the hillsides with their white blossoms. Wood violets grow here too. They're Wisconsin's state flower. And talk about state stuff, the sugar maple is our state tree. Chipmunks, deer, and many birds feed on the plant seeds and berries of the maple basswood forest. Moisture-loving insects, reptiles, and amphibians hide among the leaves and fallen logs on the forest floor. Maples are an important source of lumber, but are also prized for their sap used in maple syrup.
Hope you brought your hiking boots. To visit this forest, you'll have to climb the hills and ridges of southern Wisconsin. Here you'll see oaks, walnuts, hickories, and black locusts. About half of the forests in southern Wisconsin are oak forests. Before settlers arrived, these forests were maintained by fire. Today, without periodic fires to remove shrubs and other competing trees, it is difficult for new oak trees to grow. One unique community, the oak savanna, is especially affected by the absence of fire. This transition area between forests and prairie is considered an endangered ecosystem. What do oaks produce? You guessed it, acorns. Nut-loving wildlife like wild turkeys, deer, and squirrels are abundant here. These forests provide high-quality timber for furniture and cabinets.
Your last stop on this tour is the forest in a city or town near you. This forest is made up of the city's green spaces, parklands, backyards, playgrounds, and vacant lots. Trees not only make our urban areas more beautiful, but they also provide shade that cools the surrounding area by almost 10 degrees. Their leaves filter out air pollution, and their root systems help stop soil erosion. Trees take in the carbon dioxide that we exhale and produce oxygen, the clean air that we all need to breathe. Many animals like deer, songbirds, bats, chipmunks, and squirrels depend on city trees for food and shelter. From the street trees chosen to survive salt and air pollution, to the landscape trees planted to beautify and shelter buildings, to the native trees in park woodlands, each tree is a valuable part of the urban forest. Just imagine what a city would be like without trees. We've only just begun to explore Wisconsin's many forest communities. As you travel around the state, remember how differences in climate, soils, and topography determine the location of our forests. Discover the special plants and animals that make these forests their home. Wisconsin's forests are all around you. Make sure to visit one real soon.